Welcome to Coalition Greenwich Institutional Insights, where we explore the latest trends and priorities in UK institutional investing. I'm your host, Justina Ete. I'm the UK Buy-Side Relationship Development Manager here at Coalition Greenwich. And I'm thrilled to be joined by Christopher Dunn, our Head of Investment Management in Europe. We'll be diving into the key findings from our Global Institutional Investor Survey, which reveals the insights and strategies of over 250 institutional investors and decision makers across the UK. So Chris, shall I start maybe asking what some of the leading priorities are for UK institutions right now?
Sure. Well, and first off, thank you, Justina, for having me today. Yes, as a bit of an icebreaker question, when we're doing these interviews with institutional investors, one of the first questions we ask is, what are the things that keep you awake at night? What are your primary challenges? And unfortunately for all investors, and certainly the cases for UK investors, there's plenty of things to worry about. But the things that we're looking at in particular, first off, liability management, and that's primarily corporate plans looking to de-risk and to integrate LDI strategies. And then the second one that we've been keeping an eye on is market volatility. Of course, everybody's keeping an eye on market volatility these days with the events of the last couple of weeks and months. But that isn't necessarily where institutional investors are keeping their focus. They're thinking much longer term. How is short-term volatility going to impact long-term structural changes? So their eyes are much further down the field. How markets will shape their portfolios in 5 or 10 years.
Thank you, Chris. That was interesting. And you mentioned the focus on LDI, but can you maybe talk a little bit more about how this focus on LDI is impacting the market?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's just a great demand within the UK market, institutional market for LDI. We ask a lot of similar questions worldwide about what types of products or solutions are top of mind for institutional investors. And the story in most places is about private markets, which makes sense. And it's certainly the case in the UK, but to a lesser scale. It's much more focused on LDI and CDI. There's a demand side of this conversation. There's also a supply. The UK, I think, as a result of this demand, has carved out a real area of expertise in terms of the LDI investment managers that they have that are located in the UK market. So those both sides of the coin are clearly working very well together.
Brilliant. And just on the subject of expertise, is it still the case that UK investment consultants hold a lot of influence?
Yes, it's huge in the UK. We track intermediation in the various markets where it's most pronounced, and that's the US, Canada, and the UK primarily. And even above the US and Canada, UK, I believe it's 89% of institutions that we interview use an investment consultant in some way. And so I think, yes, similar to the LDI topic, there's a supply and a demand component to this. There's also a great supply of world-class investment consultants in the UK that yes, do command a lot of power, but a lot of that is rooted in, of course, a long-standing tradition of a great degree of credibility and expertise.
Thank you, Chris. That was truly insightful. I certainly learned a lot. Our Global Institutional Investor Survey is ongoing, and we invite you to participate and share your perspectives on the market. Whether you're a manager or an institutional investor, we would love to hear from you. Please do get in touch. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to sharing more insights with you in future.